Hello, and welcome to this week's live Karma Yoga class, where it is a yin based class. So, you will need, especially for today's practice, about 3 to 4 pillows. And if you have the more the merrier when it comes to pillows. So, for those of you who are getting your pillows and props ready, you can do so. In the meantime, those who have them ready, we're going to come to a seat. So maybe bring some pillows, depending how you feel comfortable, underneath your glutes, in between your shins, to sit like this, or in between your legs. It's whatever really works for you. So while we wait, just take a minute to start breathing and be intentional with your breath. So, closing your eyes, relaxing your shoulders, and just arriving on your mat today. For those who are new here, this is our weekly Karma Yoga, and the intention of this practice is, as my good deed for the week is to do a class for you, I encourage that you do a good deed for someone in your community. And I always suggest that you write it in the comments so that you can either put more, I guess, um, intention behind it. If you've written it out, you feel like it's at the top of your brain and you feel more inclined. And it also will encourage someone else, maybe. So, my suggestion for this week is to help out an animal or an insect or something that isn't human. If it means saving a bee, um, if you see a little snail that needs to be moved, or feeding the birds, something like that, just for nature. Um, it's kind of in line with this month's initiative where we meet on a Saturday at Park Run and we donate to an animal shelter in exchange for another yoga class. So, um, yeah, for those of you who have finally arrived and are seated, sit back firmly into your heels and just focus on your breath. So start to count your full inhale as you feel your belly inflate and your chest rise. And then maybe on your exhale, if you counted 4 counts, maybe exhale for 6. So try and add 2 breaths more than what your inhale was. And it helps to place maybe one hand on your chest and the other on your belly as you inhale to feel the lift up. And then as you exhale to feel the sink, and you might feel your hips sink even deeper down in towards your heel. Relaxing your jaw here. Enjoying your breath. I'm going to give you a minute or two just by yourself. If you'd like to dim the lights, you're more than welcome to do so. Make this more restorative, or if you'd like to add some meditative music in the background. I have some, but it sounds a little tinny, so I make sure you can't hear it too well. This is a pregnancy friendly class, but it's not only for pregnant people or women, it's for everyone. Start to think of an intention for your practice today. If you are pregnant, then we can set the intention for surrender and release, as this helps prepare for birth. But if you're not pregnant, maybe you're birthing a new project in this world, and sometimes you need to release your intentions out to the universe to give it that wiggle room to achieve what it is you want to achieve. You've done the work, you don't need to stress about it anymore. Just allow it to fall into place maybe. You can slowly blink your eyes open if they were closed, drop your hands down. On your next inhale, lift your shoulders up towards your ears and just roll them back. Maybe bring some intuitive motion into your neck. And then when you're ready, lift your heels off your pillow. If you have sensitive knees, I suggest you place a pillow underneath your left leg. So I will show you like this. And then just slide your left leg slightly back. And then take your hands out in front of you and then lift your right leg up and see if you can place it or walk it towards your right hand so that your knee and your elbow almost hugging in towards each other. Because this is yin yoga, we will be holding this low lunge pose for about 5 minutes. So you want to make it as comfortable as possible. Maybe bring some pillows in between where your hands will be so that you can stack them up to either lower down onto your elbows and see if you can drop lower down. If that feels uncomfortable, you're more than welcome to just come onto your wrists. And if your wrists are sore or sensitive, you can go into fists and then lean forward. But you might find that if you just stack more pillows, it is a lot easier to surrender into this pose with your elbows down. And then you can just drop your head down or your chin to your chest. Focusing on your breath here. If you have a strap and you're a more seasoned yogi, you can actually strap your knee closer into your body if that is where you are at today. But I like to make my classes, especially these online ones, more accessible because not everyone has straps. Bring your awareness to your right foot. Maybe lift your toes up, spread them wide, and then plant every toe, or at least one at a time, down onto the mat as if you're a monkey clawing the mat with your feet. Hugging that knee in towards your elbow or your shoulders. It becomes more like a lizard pose. The more you hold it, it can be quite advanced today, so just meet yourself where you're at. In yin yoga, we always try to meet our edge, which means you don't go past it. You think of a traffic light where you have your green, orange, and red. It's nice to meet yourself at your orange because then you know you're still releasing into those tendons and ligaments, getting the full stretch and benefit of yin yoga. Just allowing your breath to guide you here. Some people struggle to do the mental part where you're holding a pose for a long time and then the physical comes in too. And it allows you to just try something difficult today. You might want to flex that foot behind you, the left leg, if you want to bring some kind of movement before we get back up. On your next inhale, you can come onto your hands if you were on your forearms, and then slowly walk or straighten your hand and straighten that right leg into a half split here, dropping your head towards your knees. Take one more inhale, straighten your spine slightly, and maybe look about 30 centimeters in front of you or in that general area. And as you exhale, drop down again. Then take your hands and walk them closer towards your body until you feel comfortable enough to walk your right foot back to meet your left. Take your legs as wide as your mat and place a pillow in between, or two in between your legs, as I've got here. And then you can grab another pillow and place it in front of you, or even two. So for the pregnant mamas, I prefer that I have a higher stack in front of me versus in between my legs so that there's space for the belly. Spread your knees as wide as the mat, or even wider if you feel comfortable. Sit firmly into your heels here to try and allow yourself to keep mindful of the heel to glute connection. Obviously, for the majority of us, as we lean forward, our hips will rise. So it's nice to sit first quite firmly into the pillow to consciously think of diving down. So inhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling. It helps to follow it with your gaze, because as you look forward, you hinge forward from your hips, reaching for the pillows to go over it. Here you can actually fold your arms to place your head so that you aren't muffled and you can have some space to breathe. And then just drop into the hips here. You might find that you have to make an adjustment like I do. I'm walking my pillows slightly forward, just so that my head can rest quite comfortably and still have space between. And just releasing. Child's pose is the ultimate surrender pose. It's even used in some religions as a form of prayer. Relax your face muscles. It might be nice to encourage a gentle yawn as an indication to your body that you are relaxing and that your nervous system is calm. Might even stretch out your mouth a little, wiggle your nose. And on your next inhale, tuck your chin in towards your chest and slowly walk your hands up. Still keeping your legs in the same position. Before we move into our next pose, try to position your pillows more onto your right side than your left. So I'm moving my pillows here just so that you can see the demonstration. So maybe lift up off your heels and move the pillow to the side and then sit back down. This time, you'll still have the pillows in front of you. You can lower down onto your pillows, onto your forearms, and then take your left leg and straighten it behind you, keeping your right foot straight and flexed out so you have a bend in this frog pose. The reason why the pillows are here, so you've got space for your belly, and you're in this half frog pose with the pillows in front of you so that you've got extra space for your belly again, and you're leaning over towards the left side but still putting pressure onto the right. You might even find that you'll have to move those pillows to go underneath your knee and then lift up onto the forearms so that you have space for your belly. We won't be here for too long, and just roll over onto the side to create more space depending on how far along you are and what your belly is feeling. And then just make any adjustments. But this pose is great for birth prep. So it always helps to keep your ankle in line with your knee. I'm lifting mine up so you can see the lining, and keeping your toe flexed and up. And then you can drop your head again and your shoulders. Or even just rest your head onto the pillow. Another minute here. Might want to move your neck from side to side. Or any intuitive motions you feel. Slowly roll onto your left side so you can use your right hand to push you up until you can come to a seat in whichever way works for you, or at least come to kneeling. Keeping your pillows still stacked, but maybe remove one layer from the front. Walking your hands over your pillow, and you almost have like a U shape around you. So you have pillows on either side and on the front of you. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up behind you, pointing your toe down, pushing firmly into your hands, almost as if you're in like a plank, but your left knee is down. And then see if you can bring your right knee towards your right elbow, and then just place it as close to your wrist as possible. Swing your right leg, and you can even use your left hand as a guide. So for some people, it's easier, and I'm removing this for you to see, to keep this foot tucked in. But to really challenge yourself, see if you can square off your leg And then walk your back foot back until you are in a pigeon pose. So both feet are flexed and active here. You can take the pillows behind you if you feel like your hips are uneven to give you that extra support onto your hips here. And then take your front pillow and place it in front of you and maybe grab the one on the left side as well so you can lower onto your forearms again and just drop your head into your sleeping pigeon or swan pose. It's a beautiful pose to be in. I know it can feel intense. If your left knee is feeling a little uncomfortable, you can also place a pillow underneath there. Start to bring your awareness to your breath. So maybe as you inhale, you can feel your belly pushing against your legs or your front leg. And then as you exhale, see if you can lower just a little bit more. Depends where your body's at in this moment. Just feeling your breath on your body is showing more intention than before. Again, relaxing all the muscles in your face here. It's okay when we're holding these poses for some time to make any adjustment you need. Take one long inhale. And then at the top of your inhale, open your mouth and just sigh it out. Slowly walk your hands in towards your knees, leaning onto your left side and the left pillows. And then just bring your leg forward. Come to a seat. You might fall off the pillows. Just remove them from underneath and just rock a little side to side. Take a pillow or two and maybe place it underneath your hips if you feel like a seated pose will be quite challenging, especially over 5 minutes time. You never know. So it's always nice to raise your hips and then as time goes by, you can remove it. And then remove your pillows to the side. And then take your legs out to place your feet onto those pillows. It's always nice because with your pillows, it can actually help to move them wider as you go. It's an easy sliding mechanism. So until you reach your desired width apart, flex your toes to face back towards you. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, fold forward, reaching for either your toes, your ankles, shins, knee, thighs, anything that encourages a little hinge forward from the hips. So if you can't make it all the way down, that's okay. Just puff your chest up and then drop. Even if you're looking slightly ahead of you, that's okay. We're going to be here for about 5 minutes, so go to the level you feel most comfortable. If you feel like you're a hyperextender in your knees and you want to place something underneath your knees for extra support, you are more than welcome to do that. It really depends on the kind of stretch you're looking for today. And then just drop your head down. You might find that when you do drop your head down, it encourages you to almost fall more forward. Allowing gravity to just take control of you here. It's quite an intense stretch, so make any movements. If it's pointing a toe, maybe moving your pinky toes down towards the ground and then your big toes towards the ground. So it's side to side movement with your legs or your feet. Maybe rolling your ankles. You might find that you are more than comfortable to still hold the pose, and maybe after a minute or two, you'll have to make those adjustments. It's all what works for you. I always think of like yoga things I say a lot that you can turn into a drinking game. So every time I say, do what works for you, it encourages you to maybe let's not say drink, to do a box breath or some kind of chanting or something like that. Turn it into a more positive thing. Or a drink if that's what you feel like on a nice yin class. You might feel more flexible. So for the more seasoned yogi, you also are more than welcome to grab a strap and you strap it around you, and that also encourage you to fold deeper. Might take a second to just point your toes and then flex them back. Point your toes and flex them back. Maybe one toe and lead towards the one toe. Flexing it back and then lean towards the other toe. And then flex it back and then rise up. You can bring your legs together, maybe in a nice, not to hug them in or anything, but just slightly bent with your soles touching. And you might want to move from side to side again. Interesting. I think there's a fly on the camera. It's definitely not a ghost. Then lean forward. Let's go to the other side. So again, have your pillows ready for that low lunge. If you had a pillow underneath your knee, then you know you should set that up now. But roll over your legs to come into a tabletop position. And then have your pillows ready at the side so that you can put your forearms on them. So again, it's whatever worked for you. So take your left leg and or your left foot and put it next to your left hand. Is that a fly? I don't know. Interesting. Anyways, then grab your pillows and stack them on top of each other so that you can get ready for the hard part. And then obviously the pillow underneath your right knee if that's what felt comfortable. You can lower down onto your forearms and then take your right leg back so that you're in that low lunge. Again, you can stay up like this, puffing your chest forward, dropping your shoulders back. Almost imagine you have like a pin between your shoulder blades that you're holding back together. And you'll get a whole different stretch because you're focusing on your upper back more. But if you are focusing on birth or just releasing the hips, you can lower down onto your forearms and practice hugging that knee in towards you. You can drop your head or just relax. If you are preparing for birth, it's always a good idea to relax your jaw and bring attention to relaxing your mouth muscles. When you're in pain or uncomfort, just think of how you would breathe to help ease that pain. Relaxing your face is very important. And every time I want to relax my face, I feel like yawning. On your next inhale, you can come back onto your hands if you were on your forearms. You can grab the top pillow and place it underneath your left hip And then keeping your pillows in front of you, you might want to walk them slightly forward and then just heel toe your left foot across your body to meet your ankle towards your right hand, and then slowly lower back down onto that pillow so that your hips are level. And then lower down, keeping this foot, the front foot flexed, and then lower down into your pigeon pose. Again, in that position of surrender. Very interesting. I'm sorry for the black thing on the screen. I honestly, when I see things that seem weird like this, I always just assume it's my grandpa. And he loved yoga, so at least we can feel like it's blessed because I don't know what's happening over there. uh, Again, this is the perfect time to feel the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. And you'll feel it on your front leg. You're more than welcome if you are feeling your edge and you've gone into red to just get out of it and then get back in when you're ready. And slowly on your next exhale, rise onto your hands, pushing firmly into that pillow. Maybe puffing your chest forward. Like one inhale here. And as you exhale, you can walk your hand to come off the pillow and firmly into the mat. Tuck your back toe in and lift up through your hips to bring your left foot out and to the side. So you're almost in that Captain Morgan thing where your foot is now facing the side of the room. And then you can lower your knee down onto the pillow. But before you do that, maybe turn your pillows this way Again, to allow space for the belly on the left or the right side of the mat. So you're going to be pushing your hip down first, creating that space for your belly in between, and then going over it so that you can be in that half frog pose. I'm leaning back so you can see, to keep your ankle in line with your knee and your toe flex back but still pointing that way, and then you're just leaning onto the pillow. So your lean might feel different or look different depending on how far along you are or where you are at your stage. For those of you who don't care, meaning you don't have a baby inside you and you can lie fully flat, that's also a more accessible and more traditional way to do the pose. So it really is where you are at. Fox breath. I'm joking. And then just drop your head down. You might even fold your arms so that you have place to put your head and still have a place to breathe. And just release. Slowly, when you're ready, you can lift your head up, come onto your hands by pushing up, and then just bringing your leg to meet your other, walking them towards the front pillows. You can cross your legs behind you and then just roll back into a seat. Grab a pillow and place it at the base of your spine. And you're more than welcome to grab more. It's just because I don't have enough to show you all the props. And, and then bring two pillows on this side. So now the U shape, or it's not really U because this one's straight up like that. It's going the same direction of your spine. But bring the soles of your feet together and even connect each toe onto each other. allowing space. So for every person, it might be different. If your knees are higher up, you'll just need to stack more pillows underneath your knees. So stack the pillows until you feel like your legs are comfortably pushing onto a surface, and then have the pillow behind you. Slowly, depends on again where you are. Slowly, maybe even go onto the one side of your forearm and then the next to open your chest to have a nice supported butterfly. For those of you who are further along, just add extra pillows so that your head is slightly higher than the rest of your body. So you'll have to create a little bit of a cushion. So you might have to fold your pillow or add extra pillows so that you are slightly up and you're not fully back onto your spine, because that's also not the most comfortable, but it's also not advised, especially to be on your back for so long. So we won't be here for too long, but just enough to release your hips. And the more pillows you stack underneath you, the higher you will be. So you might even find that you're sitting up like this. That's okay. It's quite interesting. I am learning about the pencil. So if you have to put a pencil in your belly button, usually if it's facing up, you're not sitting correctly. But if it's facing either straight, as if I'm seated now, or down towards the ground, that's the ideal posture for a pregnancy. I think it's more to keep the baby in a certain position. And for those of you who are pregnant, it'd be interesting for you to write in the comments what where you think your baby's lying right now. For me, it's in that transverse across my belly stage. That's why I know about the pencil. And your hands can be facing upwards with your palms facing upwards. So you want to receive. They can be facing downwards to ground or on your belly, wherever feels comfortable. You can slowly start to bring your knees into each other. You're going to get ready for Shavasana, so you can place, depending on what you're doing, if you'd like to put a pillow underneath your knees to fall completely back. So you can remove the pillows from your spine and place it underneath your head. If you were comfortable in this position and you are carrying, you can just lie like this. Or if you would feel more comfortable to lay on your side and maybe place the pillow in between your legs and come into a little bit of a fetal position, that's the more advised position for Shavasana. So I'm going to turn off the light. You can play some relaxing music if you would like, and just release and surrender. So in your Shavasana, take a few moments here to come back to a normal breath and check in with yourself, allowing everything to settle in. If you'd like to stay in an extended Shavasana, you can turn this video off and just stay here for as long as you like. If you feel ready, you can slowly and in your own time make your way up to a seated position. Once you get there, you can slowly start to blink your eyes open. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your palms to touch and lower to your heart center, lifting your chest up towards your thumbs. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Namaste.